around us. We've got enough clearance to do 100,000 feet with the FAA offset rules for amateur rocketry. So we have a standing waiver to 25,000 feet and 9,000 pound seconds. If you're going past that, you're going to have to talk to the FAA some, but you can go to 100,000 feet here.
Where is it?
This is in the Mojave. It's about a 5.5 hour drive from here, maybe 6 hours. Again, another couple pictures. If you're familiar with Mojave, we're out about 10 miles out of dirt road, about 30 minutes from Mojave. So it takes about 45 minutes from Mojave to Far. If you drive like I do, maybe an hour. We have a lot of facilities. Here are 3 vertical test stands with tie downs. We've tested a lot of stuff there. I mean, there's a little liquid motor bolted to one of the test stands.
How big can you go?
We'll get there. This is about a 3,000 pound hybrid running, pushing against one of the test stands. There is a 4,500 pound Garvey space, pushing against one of the horizontal test stands. It's an old picture. The vertical test stand's not in the back. You can just see the foundation. Now, if you guys haven't ever built liquid rockets, this is what you need to be prepared for. I mean, if your test site is not prepared to deal with it, you're not prepared to test liquid rockets. And that was mild because it didn't throw any parts. Okay, I'm serious. So, if you aren't prepared for that, you're not prepared. Here we have a large horizontal test stand. This is stressed for about 60,000 pounds. Here we're doing a 10,000 pound peroxide monoprop. There we're doing a 20,000 pound, hold on a second. This is about a 20,000 pound. It's designed for 35,000 pounds, but we were just running it at lower pressure in this test. So monoprop peroxide starting up, getting the grain warm, the grain lights, and away it goes. So I mean, we've done some big stuff out there.
Is it all paid for by donation, or is it paid for by the?
Well, we'll get into how it's paid for and how it works. Well, I'm going to go pretty fast. So. We have a large vertical test stand. This is stressed for 40,000 pounds. We haven't run anything much bigger than 5,000 pounds in it. There's a test vehicle mounted in it. There's a view from the top of the tower. There's one running. Okay? So if you're testing big stuff, we have the ability to do it. We have a bunch of high power launch pads.
I want to watch this one.
Did it? Okay, there we go. So this was from on top of that tower. That's peroxide.
Keep watching.
Expensive plastic cameras and hot peroxide are not compatible.
Oh.
I know. It gets better. It gets better. Wait for it. We're going to melt the condensation off the lens.
It's on fire.
For a joke, I took a picture of that camera and sent it to Canon and said, "Can you repair it?" And some very serious customer support person called me back and said they thought it was beyond repair. We got more launch rails, all shapes and sizes. This is Kevin's big launch rail. It lays flat and then tips up. There's a Flametrix, that's LR101, locks kerosene.
Is that a pistonless one?
Huh?
Is that a pistonless?
No, that was just pressure.
No. I mean, we've got some 3-side capture launch rails. We got a helipad out there for medical evac. We have oxygen defibrillator, basic first aid supplies. This is our big storage building. We've got Wi-Fi, internet connection, a 15 kW and 30 kW diesel. We have a 250,000 pound licensed explosives magazine or high and low explosives manufacturing permit. We've got multiple California pyro ops. We got firefighting. We got water.
You have a website?
Remote weather and remote TV.
Huh?
Remote weather and remote TV.
Yeah, we got remote weather. I don't know if we have the remote TV. I mean, here's an example. This is the blockhouse. It's buried in the ground. That's 18 inches of concrete and steel in the top. That's a armored windows slits. You could drop a bomb on that and probably survive. So we're set up to be safe.
Do you have a website that says when the best time to visit is?
I'll get, bear with me. We have viewing bunkers for people a little further away that aren't in the blockhouse. So it's got overhead cover and berms. You know, we got places for people to work on stuff. We have a forklift, which was my donation to the facility. This was the forklift I used for the blue ball. It now belongs to FAR, and anybody who's working at FAR can use it. Yeah, there's me and one of the guys out there, Charles Pooley, playing with the blue ball. There's the blue ball taken off. You guys have seen the LLC attempts. I'm out of time, so I'm going to skip that video. This is Maston flying out there. Maston did their highest altitude to date out there. If you're uncomfortable being at FAR because there's too much infrastructure and you're going to hurt it, we have a permanent agreement with the Department of BLM to fly off the dry lake bed. So here is one of the Garvey flights off the dry lake bed. There's another one. There's one in flight. Doesn't always go well. Got to be prepared, firefighting, etc. Okay, here I will get into the details and then I'll answer questions. It's a nonprofit, federally recognized 50c3 charity. You know, basically, we have state licensed pyrotechnicians. We have ATF registered for handling explosives. We have hydrogen peroxide on site. We can have LOX or helium or nitrogen delivered for you. So all of those things happen regularly out there. They generally request $1,000 a day for a site fee for commercial projects in which a pyro op is required to show up. Typically FAR goes the first and third Saturday of every month. There's something going on at FAR. That's typical. I've done a lot of work out there. I mean, my son and I welded the metal in the top of the blockhouse and helped build the vertical test stand and helped pour the concrete. And we go out there whenever they have work parties. And so, you know, they don't charge us anything, but we've put a lot of infrastructure in the ground with sweat. And so they usually have more money than sweat available. So if you're really on a budget and want to use the place, show up for a few work parties and nobody's going to say anything if on the third work party you show up with shit to test. People will be, ooh, cool.
Is there an email list that tells you when work parties are going to happen?
Yeah, we're getting there. That's going to be the next slide. When you rent the site, we provide all the capabilities. We have silent generators, big battery powered inverters, berms. We got Ethernet connectivity to all of the test stands and all of the blockhouses. We have a rough terrain forklift. Let me see. What else? This was the stuff Kevin gave me. Kevin run. When the number of visitors exceeds 5 or 6, we need to look at getting a porta potty. I mean, that's the formal rules. I don't think I've ever seen anybody deliver a porta potty, so I'm not sure what's going on here. We've definitely had more than that. We have a standing waiver that needs a 7-day notice for less than 9,000 pound seconds and less than 25,000 feet, because that's the arrangement we have with the local restricted airspace from Edwards overhead. We have unrestricted airspace to 1,200 feet, so if you're flying a hovering or controlled vehicle, you can fly to 1,200 feet with just a 24-hour fax notice, as long as you're under 200,000 pound seconds. We've got people like SpaceX and Boeing who've done projects out there where they wanted a remote area to do stuff. That can be arranged. Okay, here are the contacts. The president of FAR is Kevin Baxter, kevin@lightpanels.com. Send him an email and say you want to get on the FAR mailing list. Okay, so you guys can write that down.
Right.
And I'm Paul at rasdoc.com, and if you send me an email and I haven't seen an email from you before, my spam filter is going to say, prove you're human. And, okay, now I have, how much time do I have? That was quick. I still have 15 minutes for questions or anything you want, or I can go back and show you the cool video I skipped. All right? We'll do that.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you help students with their, I guess, proofreading their technical specs?
Well, FAR was founded to help students. So we have San Diego State, Long Beach State, Boy Scouts regularly at the facility.
Okay.
So if you say you have a project you want to work on and ask for help on the FAR mailing list, you will probably get help.
Oh. It's the same with testing?
Huh?
Is it the same with testing?
Yeah. Okay, there. This is another view of FAR. That's the lunar lander pad. Right here is the large horizontal test stand. Here is the helo pad, also known as the other landing pad. This is our barium peroxide bunker. Right there is the large vertical test stand. We've got a bunch of storage facilities, outhouse, and all that was yeah, you can see all this here and all the cars parked over there.
So it's all in a 200 meter by 200 meter space?
I would say more like 300.
Whatever the
400,
meters
yeah.
are.
Well, no, it's about 600 meters from this pad to the viewing stand. So it's a little bigger than that, but this pad is 10 meters across.
I don't really see any evidence of wind. Is it
Every time I've taken my wife with me out to FAR, it's blowing boulders. Not sand, not rocks, boulders. If I don't take her, it can be pleasant, but if you aren't prepared for 45 or 50 miles an hour blowing grit, don't go. Also, you're not going to get out there if your car is real low to the ground. The road from the end of the road to FAR is a little bit rough. Now, I have a Subaru STI, which is basically a little rally car, and it's a whole lot of fun on that road.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that. So here's the same flight, different view.
Hal, your eye was coming loose.
There was obviously a cut in that video. I was further away than that, trust me. So you can see there's not much out there. This is the Reaction Research Society, so if you've ever heard of RRS out in the Mojave, we're right next door.
Oh, cool.
Is RRS still active?
Huh?
Is RRS still active?
That's an interesting question, and I don't really know how to answer it. Yes, they do things once in a while. FAR is about 10 times more active.
Okay.
I think it's
USC
CRS
does.
now, isn't it?
Huh?
I think it's CRS now, isn't it?
I don't know.
I know that USC has done some testing out there recently.
So, anyways, any more questions?
Can you park something there overnight?
Huh?
leave
Yeah, you
something
can
out?
show up with a camper and park something there. I mean, if you want to leave it for a couple weeks, they'll probably give you permission. They have in the past allowed people to put 20-foot storage containers out there. The usual routine is you get in line with all the other storage containers, you put in a concrete foundation and pay to have it delivered and set up yourself, and sign a document saying it belongs to FAR, but you can use it. And you know, there's some rules, like you can't store explosives or volatiles in your storage facility. They have
Well,
places
you have an
for that.
explosives bunker.
Huh?
You have explosives bunker for.
We have a certified explosives magazine.
So they don't have the hard bunkers like they have at a RIT.
Yeah, we have better bunkers and more bunkers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this is our silver ball trying to hover, and it not quite succeeding.
If you're doing liquids, you don't need the explosive guy, right?
Huh?
If you're doing liquid propellants, you don't need the
No.
explosive guy.
The 100,000 foot, I think based on the quarter
Yeah.
distance that we use over $100,000.
That's $500. $500 if you just
So anyways, that's what I had to present, and sorry I went so fast. I have a plane to catch, unfortunately.
Okay, let's do our break